Rebel Yell Podcast, Trib Live High School Sports Network. We are here to salute our Week 3 WPIAL Playa of the Week. And if you follow high school sports at all, you are familiar with our Player of the Week, the one, the only Scoop Smith, the pride of Woody High, kind enough to join us after a terrific game, two monster plays that we'll talk about the difference as Woodland Hills defeats Penn Trafford and in the Big East Conference opener. Scoop, appreciate you joining us. I am looking forward to this. I've had a chance to see you in action, and obviously your athletic ability and football, basketball, track speaks for itself. But I've heard great things about what a wonderful young man you are as well. So it's a pleasure to finally have you on.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk. Just blessed and honored for getting Player of the Week. It means a lot to me.
Well, it's well deserved. And again, we'll talk about the game against the Warriors. Let's talk about yourself first and foremost. Um, you know, talking to Coach Brian, talking to others close to the Woodland Hills program, they have talked about, what a special young man you are, athletic, and just as a person, as I alluded to, um, a tremendous leader. It's always team first, team first. Just talk about how you grew up, and obviously that's something mom and dad get a lot of credit for, instilling that selflessness.
I honestly just feel like I was just blessed with being talented. Like since I was younger, I was always one of the better kids. I'm not gonna say I was the best kid ever, but I was always one of the better kids on my team. And my parents used to just preach to uplift everybody on my team. At the end of the day, if it was 1 versus 11 out there, I probably would never win a football game. I wouldn't have any
Right, right.
accolades. So as much as I might get all the praise, those other 10 people out on the field play a big part in the things that I'm doing too. So I always just want to look deep into it. Like it's not just me. It never could just be one person, especially in a team sport that involves 11 people, coaches, refs. So I always just try to uplift the people with me, show praise to the people that are helping me do what I'm doing.
You're also a young man of faith, which I appreciate and admire. Talk a little bit about you know how you've been able to keep your faith. Now you're at an age where a lot of things are happening. You're going from being a kid to being an adult, and one of the things that gets tested during that time is your faith. You go from living your parents' faith to your own faith. Just talk a little bit about that aspect and how that has helped you as well in your athletic career.
Yeah, like you said, I grew up in a church house, so like you said, it was my parents' faith. We went to church every Sunday. You just living like that. You build, and when you become your own man, when you have your own beliefs, that's kind of installed in you. And then when you get mature enough to really understand what's going on, and I live the way like a lot of things that I'm doing wouldn't be possible without God. Like when you look at some of the when I personally look at some of the things that I do, I just really don't understand how I did it myself. So it's like if I don't understand how I did it, it's only one way. And I just look up to God and just give Him praise. Like in track, I had pulled my hamstring the day before running, and went and 100 meter dash, and it was just like I honestly was just in disbelief from how he made it happen because I honestly didn't think I was gonna go out there and finish the
Wow.
race. But the fact that I end up winning, so like it's just like little things like that, which I could go on a list, a big old list, of countless of things of how he shocks me and like never ceases to amaze me. Like certain things just he does, and I just be like, wow. But that's just like a big one that was recent. Like you never can like really understand how or why he does it, but there's a lot of things that's just like and I feel like that was like the first phase of me really understanding who God is and how He
Sure.
works. Because like I'm an athlete, so I'm going out there making all these plays, and I'm doing things that I don't even know how I did it. And it's just like it got to be God. There's no other way it could have happened.
Yeah.
And then I start going to church. I start being more mature. Start really understanding, getting in my word, getting in the Bible, and you know it goes on from there.
Yeah, you talk about being mature, in your faith you were just talking about right there, but just being mature. You're a very well spoken young man. being mature. Have you always been like that? Growing up, one of the more mature people in your class or amongst your friends, or is that something that has recently kicked in here during your high school years?
Um, I'm not gonna say I've always been the most mature, but like I've always been the kid to like hang around the older kids, because obviously, like I don't want to get too far off topic, but like sports brings relationships, and I was playing sports with all the older kids, so all my relationships, friendships, kind of were with the older kids. So like those are kind of the people I hung with. So like it always put me on a higher level of maturity because I'm hanging around older kids. You are who you hang around, so
Yeah.
just being around older kids that they weren't the most mature, but they're more mature than me hanging around kids my age and just doing that my whole life. I think it kind of put me ahead, but I wasn't the most mature. I was still an immature kid, still had to do things, live and learn. But I definitely think it set me ahead of a lot of people my age.
Well, you almost sound like a young parent. You sound all the things that mom and dad tell their kids, especially their teenage kids. You have actually heard them, listened to them, and realized that hey, they're not a couple boneheads. They know what
Yeah,
they're talking about. And
100%.
so, how big's the family? How many brothers, sisters do you have?
So it's really big right now. So my mom had just got married, I think 2 weeks ago. So
Congratulations.
appreciate it. So blood, I have one sister and one brother. And then in laws, I have a sister in law now, and then not in law. I'm tripping. It would be a
Step.
stepsister. Yeah, I don't know why I'm talking
No,
about.
no, that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, I have one stepsister and four stepbrothers now.
Yeah, unless you got married and we don't know about it. Maybe it was a double wedding, you and your mom,
Yeah,
right?
I'm tripping.
No, 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 no. That's fine. Now you've uh, birthed your to your mom and dad, one brother, one sister. Are they older, younger?
So they're older, but my sister has a different mom than me, and my brother has a different dad than me. But like both of my parents like raised both of them, so
Good,
yeah.
good. All right. Um,
But they're both older. Yeah.
and something we talked about before we started. For those wondering, Scoop is not on your birth certificate, right?
Nah.
Okay, all right.
Listen.
Now, that's all he's known for his whole life. He told us. Do
Yeah.
you know who gets credit for giving you that name?
My brother. His favorite show was Bob the Builder, and his favorite character on Bob the Builder was called Scoop. So before I was born, like he was just telling my parents like Scoop, 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 and
Bob the Builder. Now that's
yep.
not the same as uh, Bob the Train Guy. What was that show? That was
Thomas the Train.
Oh yeah, Thomas
No,
the
yeah,
Tank.
it's not from Thomas the Train.
All right. Yes. Know your preschool shows. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it's Ben Scoop. That's all he knows. That's all he wants to be known as. So he we will not have him force him to give up his first name. It's Scoop, and it really is different, and it's really fitting of a person who really stands out in the crowd. Is a impressive young man. All right. So let's talk about the season before we talk specifically about the Penn Trafford game. Very challenged the Woodland Hills schedule. You guys lost a tough one in week 0 to North Allegheny, bounced back with the victory, lost in Ohio to Central Catholic, and then even your record with the win. How first of all, how was the experience headed going to Canton, Ohio?
It was amazing. Just talking to Hall of Famers, going through the Hall of Fame, the stuff, and just seeing everything, seeing all the Hall of Famers in there. It was truly amazing, and just thinking like that's not like my dream goal isn't to be a Hall of Famer. Obviously, if that comes, but I just want to make it there. So just seeing people that made it to my dream and then took it a step or two higher,
Right, right.
it's just
Mhm.
yeah, it was kind of amazing, and just playing on that field it was wild. It was a very good experience, especially from a high school kid.
Was that the first time that you saw the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
No, I've been there before. I camped there for an Under Armour camp.
Okay,
I've never went into the actual exhibit spot, but I seen the field and stuff. But that was my first time actually like playing on it though.
okay. how did you you have made the decision? Well, we'll get to that later about college. So um, through 4 weeks, give us the scoop, so to speak. About how you feel about this 2024 Woodland Hills football team.
Um, I honestly feel like, well, I'll just start where like let's just start with the first 3 weeks.
Okay,
I'm not gonna say I was disappointed, but I was just frustrated from two different sides of looking at the thing because I'm the one, that I'm with the team. We worked the whole summer camp. We went through a whole bunch of things, trials and tribulations together as a team. And when we booked those first three games, we all looked at it as like these aren't big games. We're one of these teams. Like this is Pittsburgh Central Catholic, but they're playing against Woodland Hills. Like we're a team that should be able to compete. North Allegheny, top team in 6A. Well, we're a top team in 5A, and we think we can beat this top team in
sure,
6A. So going into those first three games, everybody else around the world looked at it as like this is one of the best challenging schedules, and we looked at it as like they got to come play us too. Like we're one of those good teams. Like they should be saying, oh, they got to play Woodland Hills this week. So going into NA, I just feel like it was first game jitters. We had a ton of mistakes
yeah,
that weren't forced. It was unforced mistakes just going on, and we still should have won the game at the end of the day. Lost by 2 points. I was, that's a okay loss. First game of the season, a lot of stuff going on. People's first game, everybody's getting their jitters out. Came back, played Penn Hills. It was an expected win. I'm not going to give us too much praise for that. We were supposed to do that, and then we go to Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and I just honestly tell people like that wasn't us. That wasn't the team that worked the whole summer. That wasn't the team that I went in camp with, that I practiced with that whole week. That wasn't the team at all. And we low key just scratched that, like just forgot all about it. Because you go out there, you watch the first four drives, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a good game. And then after, it's just like I genuinely don't know that team that was out there because it wasn't us. And we just threw that away, went back to work next the week after, and came back and had that outstanding win. And for me, I just feel like that just shows the amount of adversity that we can go through. Going down, and obviously you got to go down to the Hall of Fame Center. We had to spend money, we had to get hotels, and just going down, spending money, then losing like that, and then coming back and just bouncing back the way we did. It just shows the type of team we are. It just shows the type of fight that we have. And for me, I was like extremely excited. It gave me a whole bunch of confidence because I never lost confidence. I always knew what type of team we were. A lot of people say this and that about us, but like I said, they weren't there with us working. They didn't see the things that we see. So that loss, like, it wasn't really that discouraging. It was more disappointing for me because I
right.
felt like that was a game we could have competed in. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we should have blew them out or won this and that, but it was definitely a game where we could have competed with that team. We have good players, they have good players. So I just feel like coming back and winning, it meant a lot to a program aspect, to just showing that like we have tough kids over here. We have kids that can fight through adversity, and I just feel like that just shows how our season's going to turn out. And as much as people can keep doubting, as much as people can say this and that, it doesn't really matter to us. We kind of block the outside noise out and go out there and play football.
Well, I love the mindset. Is most people would say, yeah, you lost to Central, you lost to North Allegheny. They're the top two teams in Class 6A. You're a 5A school, but you're like, no, no, we're Woodland Hills. There's nobody above us. We should be able to play with anybody, whenever and however. I love that mindset. So you get into Big East Conference play against Penn Trafford. Wild contest to say the least.
Yeah.
And of course, you were right there in the middle of it, especially early on. The two teams combined for 35 points in the opening quarter. It was 21-14 Woodland Hills. You guys scored first. They come back and answer, go up 7-6, and that's when the fun began. First off, a 60-yard kickoff return. Now, this was off a lateral. Anthony Barron, I guess, your teammate. Just talk a little bit about how that play unfolded.
So honestly, every time somebody gets the ball on kick return, if I don't just obviously scream for the ball, but if I see something like an opening, I'll like scream for it, like pitch it back, pitch it back. They rarely do it. And I'm never mad at it. Like go make a play. I'll never be mad at you. But so as he got the ball, I could see like the end guys like crashing down.
Right?
So I was screaming his name like and I didn't know if he heard me because he didn't pitch it back right then and there. So then he made a little move, and it looked like he was about to get tackled. And as he was turning, like as kind of like we kind of made eye contact, and he pitched it right then and there.
Was it
And then
underhand or did he throw it?
no, he was like getting tackled, and like he just like kind
Okay.
of tossed it because they had his shoulder. He just kind of tossed it,
How
and
close
then
were you to him?
I was good like 5, 6 yards away.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, I wasn't too far. And it literally happens like it just like happened perfectly. Like he told me after he was like, I heard you, but I wasn't about to just pitch it back right there. I kind of wanted to get him to come in.
Sure.
But like, yeah, it was a perfect. I don't know. It was wild. It just happened so perfectly.
So then um, they get the ball back, obviously, after you guys go up on your 60-yard kickoff return. Cody Yakamali goes 80 yards, I think, on the first play. Now, were you on the field at the time?
When he scored,
Yeah.
no, I wasn't.
Okay. All right. So I can't blame you then for their quick
Yes,
answer. But then you answered right back.
sir.
This time an 80-yard kickoff return. Our producer Chris Lackner, um, we were chatting beforehand, and he mentioned if you were surprised that they kicked the ball to you after just literally seconds earlier, you had returned to kick 60 yards. Here you go. You fielded at the 20, and boom, you're off to the races again for an 80-yard kickoff return. I mean, before you talk about the play, were you surprised that they didn't try to kick it away from you?
Yeah, I was genuinely surprised. Cause kind of nowadays it's a mind game. Like a lot of teams like kick it away from me. So sometimes I'm trying to switch with the person in the back to get to the side. I
Right.
think they're gonna kick it to. Sometimes I act like I'm about to switch and I stay there. So like I'm just genuinely playing mind games with people nowadays. And I honestly don't think he meant to kick it back there. I think he meant to try to like onside it, and it just took a wrong bounce. But once I seen, like, as soon as I seen it come up and it take that bounce, and I was just like, oh, like, this is wild. But, like, but at the end of the day, they got to go make a play with it. It's not an automatic touchdown. I still got to go run. I still
Right.
got to. So once I got it, I went and made a play, left everything in God's hands, and it turned out to be 6 points.
80 yards later, another touchdown to put you guys up for good. Um, was it more speed? Did you have to break some tackles on that second kickoff return?
Oh no, the kick return team blocked wonderfully. I got it, ran around, and obviously speed played a big part because a lot of people have good angles, and I outran those angles. But if you look at the video, you'll see a lot of guys blocking, and like I said, it's not 1 versus 11 out there; it's 11 versus 11. So I needed those guys to block. So as much as I'm getting the praise for scoring, they deserve a lot of the praise for going out there and block for me too.
5'6" is what you're listed at.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that legit?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Some I don't I can't I say it's legit. Some schools got me 5'6", some 5'5", one might be 5'7". It's all around.
When's the last time you actually were measured?
I think on my official visit to Miami of Ohio, I measured at
Okay.
5'6", I think.
All right. And what's your time in, say, the 40?
It was a 4.34 last time I ran it. Yes, sir.
Man, have you always been like the fastest kid, even when you were like 4, 5, 6 years old? You know,
Yeah,
you could talk crap and then take off, and no one's gonna catch you.
yeah, I definitely always been a faster kid.
All right, you've been blessed. You've been
Yes, sir.
blessed. That's for
hundred
sure.
percent.
I was going to bring it up earlier. I'll bring it up now. Miami of Ohio is where you'll be headed next year to take your athletic ability, your football skills for the Hawks. And you had some offers, which really, again, in a world, in a college world where measurements are so important. Your time, your height, your weight, all that stuff. And usually, if you don't have those things, you're going to get kind of passed over. But it says a lot about your ability that there was a lot of interest. Just talk about the whole recruiting process and why Miami.
Like you said, measurements, the eye test, a lot of those things go into a play when when you're getting recruited nowadays. And for me it was a wild experience because I mean, I'm extremely grateful for every single offer I've got from the lowest D1 to the highest I've got.
Sure.
I'm extremely blessed. And then some people will be like, you should have got this, you should have got that. And obviously me personally, I feel like there was a whole bunch of schools out there that I feel like do passed up on me, and I feel like it's their loss. There was Power 4 schools. There's a school that's not even 15 minutes away from my house that lost that passed up on me, and
Yep.
I feel like lost the opportunity to get me in. It's not for me. I feel like God's gonna put me where I'm supposed to be. And coming to Miami of Ohio, it was just when I first got there, just the family oriented coaching staff and just the support that they had, and then them just believing in me and supporting me. It meant a lot because obviously I feel like every school that offered me, they obviously believed that I was able to play at that next level. But Miami of Ohio, they just showed a different level of support, a different level of love, and it meant a lot to me. And they had a small player the past year, and they showed me his film in college, and they showed me my film in high school, and like kind of compared them, and we look kind of alike. So
Yeah.
that also played a big part. Like they'll know how to use me,
Right.
and just being loved and supported, and being wanted at the end of the day. I didn't want to go where I was accepted. I wanted to go where I was wanted, and I just kind of knew that I was wanted there. And for me, that was the biggest thing, and I feel like I made the right decision. And like I said, God's gonna put me where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. So I'm just blessed and thankful to even have the opportunity to go D1 because I know there's a lot of kids out here that don't have that chance to do
Right.
that. And, I'm just excited and ready to go.
You got a great head on your shoulders. 3.9, I think I saw where your grade point average. Do you know what you want to study when you get to Miami?
I want to study business. I feel like I could be a very good businessman. I want to kind of own something. I'm not saying that I can't work for people, but like I like kind of being
Sure.
my own boss. I like controlling a lot of things. So I definitely want to go for business. I don't exactly know what I want to do in life. I kind of really haven't thought that deep into it, which I need to start. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely go for business when I get there.
Well spoken. If you kind of lean toward something in the communications, there's possibilities there too because you, like I said, you're a well spoken young man. What about um, you know Coach Durant said that you're constantly communicating with your coaches. What about this? What about that? That kind of thing. Almost like having another coach. Is that something you thought about down the road once the playing days are over that you would, love to work with youngsters and as a coach?
That's kind of been the only thought I've had of doing after football is coaching. I love the sport of basketball, football, just teaching kids. It means a lot to me because I kind of look at it as like giving back.
Right.
I'm
Sure.
I'm big on giving back, obviously. So I just feel like me teaching somebody, and it's kind of easier right now because I'm not saying people don't listen to these coaches that went through it, but a coach that went through it in 2000s, 1990, like they literally did go through it. So we should respect them the same amount of way. But I think kids kind of like listen to somebody that's going through it right now that they're looking up to as of right now a little bit more. So like telling kids how to do something and helping them out. I feel like they respect me as a player, so they listen, and I kind of have fun, just out there. And then, like you said, Coach B, I feel like I have a good IQ when it comes to sports. So yeah, I am out there, Coach B. What about this? Or offensive coordinator, Coach Reese. What you think about this? Why don't we do this?
Right.
And
Right.
and obviously sometimes they be like, nah, like we're not doing it that way. And you're my coach, I respect it. But then there's a lot of times where it'll be like, okay, let's do that. And sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. So I
Right.
do respect Coach B and Coach Reese for actually listening to my input on
Do
certain
they
things.
s- do they explain? Do when you come up with an idea or something? If they don't like it, do they say why, or they just say no?
No,
Go line up at the 20.
no, they're not like that. He'll explain why he feels like he shouldn't do it, and then sometimes it's not even like something that has to be explained. It's just like he game planned, he studied, and this is the way he wants it to look, and that he's my coach, and obviously, I feel like it works. So
Yep. Scoop Smith, our WPIAL Week 3 Football Player of the Week here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. All right, before we let you go, We're going to play a little game. It's a new game in town. It's one I invented. It's called Fire, Mid, or Dust. All right. Fire, mid, dust. So I'm going to give you three things, and you're going to tell me which one's fire. And from what I understand from my grandkids, fire is good, right?
Okay, fire's good.
I mean, am I wrong? Am I getting bad intel here, or what?
No, like it. I
Like
need
if
more
something's
context.
fire,
Okay, yeah, something's
that's good.
fire. It's usually good. Like food. If I say some food's fire, yeah,
Yes.
that means good.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Mid is like middle of the road,
yes, I got you.
and dust is bad, right? Is dust, or is that a thing?
All right, I'm gonna be honest. I've never heard the saying dust, but
Who
I'm catching on. I get it.
uh, who was it? Was it? Let's see. It was one of our. It was either Boo Boo Armstrong from Hopewell or Gabe Jenkins from Imani. They were two earlier players of the week, and I said this. Now again, we had our grandkids in. They live in California, so they do things differently in California. But my grandson, who's going to be a freshman, he kept saying, "That's dust. That's dust." And I said, "What's dust?" He goes, "Dust is bad. Dust is bad." So
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
haven't
I'm
heard that
trying
one
to
yet.
get I'm trying to bring dust into the Western Pennsylvania,
Okay, I got
language. All right. So this will be this is going to be interesting.
you.
We'll start off with a tough one for you. Football, basketball, track.
Oh man, I'm gonna put track at dust.
All right.
I see. Like I genuinely, like 100% genuinely don't like one more than the other. But I'm gonna put basketball at mid and football at fire just for the simple fact that I'm going to college for football.
Well, and also the fact that we're in the fall.
Yeah, it's football
Now,
season right now. Yeah,
if we're doing this podcast in January,
yeah, 100%.
all right.
My answers could change. Yeah,
History, math, or science.
science dust,
That was quick.
history mid, math fire.
You like math?
Yeah, I'm a math kid. I mean, I took trig last year, and it
Mm,
kind of made me not like math a little bit. But math is definitely my favorite subject.
man, I had trouble getting out of algebra, and you're taking trig. Um, all right, Ravens. Now, this is based on your feeling toward them, not where they are, how good they are.
Yeah, I got you.
Your general feeling. Ravens, Bengals, Browns.
All right, Browns dust, Bengals mid, Ravens fire. Only for the simple fact that I don't really like the Ravens as a team. I don't like the Ravens, but I do like a lot of the players on the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson. I can't deny it. I'm a fan of Jamar Chase too. So
If you're, yeah, if you're a Steeler fan, and they're a big rival, but I think it's a respected rival. I'd like to think on both ends, but
yeah,
they've
hundred
been
percent.
they've been so good for so long.
Yeah, 100%.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Lunch dust, dinner
Wow,
mid, breakfast fire.
wow, nice.
I'm a breakfast type of guy for surely.
Most of the athletes that we talk to are dusting breakfast. They don't even eat breakfast. They say, "I don't even eat breakfast."
So I'm gonna put it like this: I don't really eat breakfast, but breakfast food is like one of my favorites. Like I don't wake up in the morning and make myself breakfast and stuff, but like when I can go out to eat breakfast or when my mom makes breakfast, I love some breakfast.
You're not late to the table.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, couple more. Planes, cars, bikes.
Well, this is kind of hard because like how far is the bike? How far is the bike ride?
Well, I mean, it's just, and I'm not saying how are you going to travel from here to Miami of Ohio, but I'm just which mode of transportation do you enjoy? Do you don't care about, or do you not like?
I would probably say bike dust, plane mid, and car fire. I'm just for simple fact I drive and I listen to music, put my windows
Okay,
down, have a good drive.
and avoid traffic.
Yeah, 100% avoid traffic. But
Yeah.
if it's somewhere far, obviously I'm gonna choose a flight.
W- Scoop and I struck a common chord when, before we even started here, we both shared our distaste for traffic and that we would go literally miles and miles out of our way to avoid traffic.
Yeah, like if you drive, if anybody that drives with me like really knows I don't like traffic.
Yeah.
I'll 100% go a longer route than going through sitting through traffic.
See, I could see 7-year-old Scoop on his little Huffy bicycle, like jumping off ramps and clearing, like, like, oh, I just cleared 10 basketballs or something like that. I
No,
could see that.
that was me. I was one of those kids that did things that I shouldn't have did, but I was having fun. You know, I was over here doing tricks. I would try to make my own ramp out of nothing, which I shouldn't be doing. I'm getting hurt every day, but you know, I'm having fun
Yeah,
living
but
life. So,
that's being a kid, right?
yeah, 100%.
I think back to some of the things we did as kids, and I think, wow, that most of that's probably against the law right now. But um, all right, last one: cookies, pies, cakes.
All right, cookies is gonna be fire.
Okay.
Um,
Ooh, struggling between pies and cakes.
yeah, because
I'm not trying to cause you angst here.
I'm gonna just put pies at mid and cake at
All
dust.
right.
But it's just because like I rarely eat cake unless it's, like birthday cake, and then
Yeah.
it's only got chocolate and vanilla kind of. But like you got like sweet potato pie, apple pie, pumpkin pie. There's a lot of pies out there.
Yes, that is true. What's your give us your top 3 cookies that you love?
Ooh. All right, this is I don't know if anybody out there is gonna know this cookie, but there's this iced oatmeal cookie. It comes in like this red box. It's by far my favorite cookie ever. It
Okay.
tastes so good. And then obviously like chocolate chip. And then I feel like the third spot can literally go to any cookie.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, people might say I'm nasty for this. I'm gonna just throw this in there because not a lot of people like it. But I do like soft peanut butter cookies. Like, yeah, I like a soft peanut butter cookie.
So the only one that I can stand, to be honest with you, because I have a peanut allergy, and
Uh,
I hate oatmeal, is the
chocolate
chocolate chip.
chip.
So I can relate to that. Now, do you prefer the crunchy chocolate chip cookie or the soft chocolate chip cookie?
So if it's Chips Ahoy, I do like the crunchy one. But like if it's just a
Right.
normal cookie, like homemade, I 100%
Okay.
prefer soft.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. Um, Scoop, appreciate it. Again, I was looking forward to this, and you did not disappoint. Congratulations on your success thus
Yes, sir.
far. Stay healthy. Best wishes to you and the Wolverines. Hope to see a deep run into November football.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys for having me. Make sure you guys tune into Will Hills Wolverines, man. We're gonna make a big run this
All
year.
right. I'm not going to debate that. I'm not going to debate that. Scoop Smith,
Yes,
the
sir.
senior from Woodland Hills High School, our WPIL Player of the Week. We thank Scoop for joining us. We thank Chris Lackner, our producer. I'm Don Rebel. Thank you for joining us here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.